Well, good evening, boys and girls. Today we get to read with Blackie. She is my kitty cat. And I tried to read with Griffey, but he kept running away. He'd either step on me, lick me, or run away. So I went and got Blackie. Hopefully she'll stay with us today. But anyways, we are going to continue reading Edward Tulane. So Edward has been in the doll shop. He's been fixed. He's been put together, cleaned, polished, a brand new rabbit ears and a brand new rabbit tail. He was dressed in an elegant suit placed high on a shelf for display. And from this shelf, Edward could see the whole shop. Lucius Clark's workbench, and the windows to the outside world, and the door that the customers used to enter and leave. And from this shelf, Edward saw Bryce open the door one day. And he stood in the doorway, his silver monica in his left hand, flashing brilliantly in the sunlight. "Young sir," said Lucius, "I'm afraid that we have made a deal." "Well, can't I see him?" asked Bryce. He wiped his hand across his nose. That gesture filled Edward with a terrible feeling of love that was lost. "I just want to look at him." Lucius Clark sighed. You may look, and then you must go and never come back. I cannot have you in my shop every day looking at what you have lost." "Yes, sir." Lucius sighed again. He got up from his workbench, went to Edward's shelf, picked him up, and held him for Bryce to see. "Hey, Jangles, you look good. Last time I seen you, you all terrible, all broken up." "He is put back together again, just as I promised he would be. Now it is your turn to keep your promise. Goodbye." Bryce nodded and wiped his hand across his nose. "Well, can I hold him?" "No." "Tell him goodbye. He is repaired. He has been saved. Now you must say goodbye." "Goodbye." "Don't go," thought Edward. "I won't be able to bear it if you do." "You must leave now." "Yes, sir," said Bryce, but he stood without moving. "Go." "Please, no," thought Edward, but Bryce turned. He walked through the door of the doll shop. The door closed. The bell tinkled. And then Edward was all alone. Technically, of course, he was not alone. Lucius Clark's shop was filled with dolls, lady dolls, baby dolls, action dolls, dolls that had eyes that opened and closed. Edward never cared for dolls, though. He found them very annoying and self-centered. The opinion was immediately reinforced when he met his first china doll with green glass eyes, red lips, and brown hair. She was wearing a green silk dress that fell to her knees. "What are you?" she said in a high-pitched voice when Edward was placed on the shelf next to her. "I am a rabbit." "You're in the wrong place. This is a shop for dolls, not rabbits," said the china doll. Edward said nothing. "Shoo! Go away," said the doll. "I wish I could, but it's obvious I can't." After a long silence, the doll said, "Well, I hope you don't think anyone will ever buy you." Again, Edward said nothing. "The people who come in here want dolls and beautiful dresses, not rabbits. They want baby dolls, elegant dolls, or dolls that have eyes that open and close." "I have no interest in being purchased," said Edward. The doll gasped. "You don't want somebody to buy you? You don't want somebody to love you?" "Sarah Ruth Abilene Bull, I have been loved. I have been loved by a girl named Abilene. I've been loved by a fisherman and his wife, a homeless man and his dog. I've been loved by a boy who played a harmonica. I have known what love is." This impression speech made Edward's shelf mate quiet for some time. "Well, Still, my point is, no one will ever buy you." Well, they never did speak again. The doll was sold 2 weeks later to a grandmother who was purchasing a doll for her grandchild. "Oh, yes," said the grandmother. "The one right there, the one with the green dress. Oh, isn't she lovely?" "Oh, she is lovely," said Lucius, and plucked the doll from the shelf. "Goodbye and good riddance," thought Edward. The spot next to the rabbit stayed empty for a very long time, and day after day the door to the shop opened and closed, letting in morning sun and afternoon light, lifting the hearts of the dolls inside, hoping somebody wanted them. But Edward was alone in that. He did not want somebody to buy him. He was not allowing his heart to be lifted. He did want it to be silent. He wanted his heart to be closed tight. "I'm done with this," Edward thought. And then one day at dusk, right before they closed the shop, Lucius Clark placed another doll next to Edward. I'll see if you can, little Miss Blackie, she's snuggling right next to us. "There you are, my lady. Meet the rabbit doll," said Lucius. The doll mender, mending means to clean and to fix, walked away, turning out the lights one by one. The gloom of the shop. Edward could not see the doll's head, for like his, it had been broken and fixed. Her face was, in fact, a web of cracks, but she was wearing a baby bonnet. "How do you do? I'm very pleased to meet you." "Well, hello," said Edward. "How long have you been here?" she asked. "Months and months, but I don't care. One place is the same as another to me anymore." "Oh, not for me. I've lived over 100 years, and in that time I've been in so many places, heavenly ones and horrible ones. But after a time, you learn that each place is different, very different, a new adventure." 100 years old?" asked Edward. "I am old. The doll mender said I was. He said he was mending me, that I was at least 100 years old, maybe even older." Edward thought about everything that happened to him in his short life. What kind of adventures had she been on? The old doll said, "I wonder who will come for me this time. I wonder what kind of adventure I will have, and who will love me this time." "Well, I don't care if anybody ever comes for me," said Edward. "Well, that's dreadful. There's no point in going on if you feel that way. You must be filled with excitement. You must be filled with hope. You must wonder who will love you next and who you will love next." "I'm done with that. I don't want to be loved anymore. It's too painful." "Oh, poosh. Where is your courage?" "Well, somewhere else, not here, I guess," said Edward. "You disappoint me." Do you guys remember who said that? "You disappoint me greatly," said the doll. "If you have no intention of loving, then the whole journey has been pointless." "I would get out of here if I could. I wish I could, but I can't." The dark in the doll shop was now complete. The old doll and Edward sat on their shelf. "You disappoint me," said the doll. Her words made Edward think of Pellegrina, of warthogs and princesses, of listening and love, of spells. What if there was somebody waiting to love him? What if there was somebody whom he would love again? Was it possible? Edward started to feel his heart stir. No, not possible. And in the morning, Lucius Clark came and unlocked the shop. "Good morning, my dolls, my lovelies." He pulled up the shades in the windows. The first customer was a little girl with her father. "Are you looking for something special?" "Yes, I'm looking for a friend," said the little girl. Her father put her on his shoulders, and they walked slowly around the shop. The girls studied every doll. She looked Edward right in the eyes and nodded at him. "Have you decided, Natalie?" "Yes," she said. "I want the one in the baby bonnet." "Oh," said Lucius Clark, "you know that she's very old." "Yes, but she needs me." Next to Edward, the old doll let out a sigh. She seemed to sit up a little straighter. Lucius came and took her off the shelf, handed her to Natalie, and when they left, the little girl's father opened the door for his daughter and the old doll. The morning light came flooding in, and Edward heard quite clearly, as if the doll was sitting next to him. "Open your heart," she said. "Someone will come. Somebody will come for you. But first, you must open your heart." And that's what'll stop today. I wonder who will come for him. And I wonder if he'll find his last adventure. Well, we'll start next time. Till then, guys, bye.